Monday, January 25th. So the moon will be in Gemini, but it is going to start making its way into Cancer. So the moon will be void of course about, let's say, 3:30-ish a.m. Atlantic Standard Time, all the way into early afternoon. So let's say, 2:30 in the afternoon, it will lock into Cancer. So one thing that I want to talk about here is the transition. When the moon goes from one sign to the other, we're really breaking away from one elemental construct to the other. So moving out of the moon in Gemini, that is very curious, very much the mental plane, very much about information and learning and, communicating our thoughts and our feelings with other people. And then we move into the moon in Cancer. Well, the moon rules over Cancer. That is our lunar goddess herself. This is a water sign. It is highly emotional, highly intuitive, very connected to the home, very connected to the family dynamic, taking care of other people, but more importantly, taking care of ourselves. This Cancerian energy has a high likeliness to show us where it is that new boundaries need to be put in place in order for ourselves to be operating from a full cup before extending our energy to other people. So needless to say, the moon in Cancer is a very powerful aspect for us. And once it locks into Cancer and we have all of these other supporting roles of the moon making all of these aspects, and let me be very clear, I could almost deem every single day this week a moon day, because for the majority of the aspects taking place, it is a conversation between the moon and between the other planets. Now, other than the moon energies for the day, Monday, what we have to watch out for is the fact that the sun will be sextiling Chiron. So this is a blending of energies. Of course, the sun in Aquarius, Chiron in Aries. This is a blending of energies that's going to allow us to see where it is that we need to free ourselves, liberate ourselves from the pain and trauma directly connected to our ego identity, right? Chiron in Aries is very much standing firm in our egos, in our identities, where it is that we learned these pain patterns and accumulated these traumatic experiences, likely from our childhood. But the sun in Aquarius wants us to grow past that, wants us to illuminate these problems where it is that we're still kind of banging our head against a wall, and actually see where it is that we can walk around these obstacles now. Why? Because we have a higher perspective. We have a higher wisdom. There is a higher sense of awareness and consciousness that now we can act as the observer and see what's going on in our lives, where it is that we're still overly connected to our egoic storyline, and where it is that we can kind of expand past that. So another thing that I want to throw at you here is that in the morning, it's going to be a very unstable energy because the moon is void of course. It's on its journey, right? By the time we actually reach late afternoon, we start moving into the full moon energy window, which we're going to talk about as we get closer to it. But we're definitely seeing a lot of instability in our emotions. We are definitely sorting through a lot of our hurts, a lot of our pains, and from that, growing very confident, growing into seeing where a new mission, a new path forward, a new purpose is emerging for us. And we're really kind of, upping the ante, if you will, on our healing journey, on our spiritual awareness. So as the day progresses, we are going to reach a peak, but we have to be prepared because this week, especially where the moon is in play, especially where there's a full moon, especially where we're going into a Mercury retrograde, things are going to be a little bit roller coaster-ish.